Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most influential and practical financial guides ever written. Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins. This isn't just another finance book. It's a step-by-step playbook designed to help anyone, no matter your income, background, or financial starting point, take control of your money and build lasting financial freedom. Tony Robbins spent years interviewing the world's greatest investors, people like Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, Jack Bogle, and many more. He condensed their wisdom into 7 simple steps that anyone can follow to create a secure, abundant financial future. And in this video, you and I are going to explore every single one of those steps in detail. We'll break down the principles, the psychology, and the practical strategies, all in plain, simple language. So, if you've ever felt stressed about money, or if you've ever wondered how the ultra-successful manage and multiply their wealth, stick around. Because by the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear roadmap for mastering your finances, no matter where you were starting from. Ready? Let's get into it. Step 1. Make the decision to become an investor, not just a consumer. The first step Tony Robbins emphasizes is deceptively simple, but absolutely life-changing. You must decide. Most people live their entire lives working hard for money, but never make the conscious decision to put money to work for them. Think about it. We're trained to be consumers. We're told to buy the latest gadgets, the newest car, the upgraded house. But very few of us are taught to become investors. And here's the truth. Until you make that mental shift from consumer to investor, you'll never experience financial freedom. Tony explains that no matter how much money you make, you need to pay yourself first. Even if it's just 5, 10, or 15% of your income, you must set it aside before spending and invest it for your future. He gives the example of the barista who makes a modest salary but consistently saves and invests a small percentage over decades. In the long run, that barista can outpace a high-salaried professional who spends everything. This is the power of compound interest, what Albert Einstein supposedly called the 8th wonder of the world. Your money, when invested wisely, begins to generate returns, and those returns generate more returns, and over time, the growth is exponential. So step 1 is not about strategies or stock picks. It's about identity. It's about saying, I am no longer just a consumer. I am an investor. I will make my money work for me. Once you make that decision, the rest of the steps become possible. Step 2, know the rules of the money game. Tony says, if you're going to win the game, you have to know the rules. And when it comes to money, the truth is most of us were never taught the real rules. We were taught outdated ideas. Work hard, get a good job, save in the bank. Maybe contribute to a retirement account and hope it's enough. But the wealthy play by a different set of rules. For example, fees matter. Even a 1% fee on your investments can cost you hundreds of thousands, even millions, over a lifetime. The financial industry is designed to benefit itself first, not you. Many advisors are really salespeople, and the market moves in cycles. Understanding risk and volatility is key to surviving downturns. Tony explains that you don't need to be a genius, and you don't need to predict the market, but you do need to understand the landscape. He shares how Jack Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, revolutionized investing with the concept of index funds. Instead of trying to beat the market, which even most professionals fail at, you can own the whole market at ultra-low cost. This insight alone has saved investors billions. So step 2 is about education. It's about becoming financially literate, knowing the traps, and avoiding the costly mistakes that keep average people stuck. Step 3, create a lifetime income plan. Now that you've decided to be an investor and you know the rules, the next step is creating a plan. Specifically, a plan for lifetime income, money that will continue to support you, even when you stop working. Tony emphasizes that true financial freedom doesn't come from having a pile of cash. It comes from knowing you'll always have income to cover your needs. There are three key sources of lifetime income. 1. Security income, the absolute basics. Enough to cover food, shelter, utilities, healthcare. This is the foundation. 2. Vitality income, money that lets you live with energy and freedom. Travel, experiences, enjoying life. 3. Dream income, the ultimate level. Enough to do anything you want, whenever you want, without stress. Tony's advice is to first identify your numbers. How much do you actually need for security? How much for vitality? How much for dreams? Most people never run these numbers. But when you do, something powerful happens. You realize financial freedom may be much closer than you think. He also highlights the importance of annuities and guaranteed income strategies, not as the only solution, but as tools that can provide stability. This step is about building confidence. It's not just about getting rich. It's about making sure you can sleep at night, knowing your future is secure. Step 4. Understand asset allocation. Now we get into the meat of investing, asset allocation. Tony explains that the most important decision you'll ever make as an investor is not which stock to buy or when to buy it. It's how you allocate your assets. In other words, how much do you put into stocks, bonds, real estate, cash, and other assets? Research shows that asset allocation accounts for over 90% of long-term investment returns. Not stock picking, not timing the market. It's the balance of your portfolio. Tony shares insights from Ray Dalio, one of the most successful hedge fund managers in history. Dalio introduced the concept of the all-weather portfolio, a portfolio designed to perform well in any economic environment: inflation, deflation, growth, or recession. Some stocks for growth, some bonds for stability, some commodities and inflation hedges. And cash is dry powder. The idea is simple. You don't need to predict the future. You just need to be prepared for any outcome. Tony calls this the holy grail of investing, combining different uncorrelated assets in such a way that your risk goes down while your potential returns go up. That's how the wealthy protect and grow their money. Step 5. Create your ultimate bucket plan. To make all this practical, Tony introduces the concept of buckets. Imagine dividing your money into 3 buckets. 1. Security bucket. This is your safety net. Cash reserves, emergency funds, guaranteed income. It's not about making big returns. It's about peace of mind. 2. Risk/growth bucket. This is where your investments grow. Stocks, index funds, real estate, businesses. This is where compounding works its magic. 3. Dream bucket. This is the fun bucket. The money you set aside for experiences, adventures, giving, and enjoying life along the way. Tony stresses that most people fail because they lump everything together. But when you separate your money into buckets, you gain clarity and balance. You protect yourself from fear while still giving yourself permission to grow and to dream. This framework keeps you disciplined during market downturns. Because even if your growth bucket is volatile, your security bucket keeps you stable. And let's be honest, money isn't just about survival. It's also about joy. That's why the dream bucket matters so much. Step 6. Learn from the best. This step is one of the most powerful in the entire book. Tony brings you the wisdom of the world's greatest investors, the billionaires who have mastered the game. From Warren Buffett, we learn the importance of patience and discipline. Buffett says, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. From Ray Dalio, we learn about radical diversification and the principle of not betting too heavily on any single outcome. From Jack Bogle, we learn that costs matter and that low-cost index funds often outperform active management. From Paul Tudor Jones, we learn the power of risk management, always protecting yourself from big losses. And from Sir John Templeton, we learn the value of humility, curiosity, and always questioning conventional wisdom. The key lesson here is that success leaves clues. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can model the principles of the masters. Tony distills these lessons into practical strategies anyone can apply. Diversify broadly. Keep costs low. Protect the downside. Stay patient. Focus on the long term. Step 7. Give and grow. Finally, Step 7 takes us beyond money itself. Tony reminds us that wealth without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. He shares his own story, how he grew up with financial struggle, sometimes not even having food for Thanksgiving, and how that experience fueled his passion for contribution. Today, through his foundation, Tony helps feed millions of people every year. The truth is, no matter how much you accumulate, the real joy in life comes from giving, from using your wealth to make a difference. And equally important is growing as a person. Wealth without growth can feel empty. But when you keep learning, expanding, and evolving, your financial journey becomes deeply fulfilling. Tony closes with this message: the secret to living is giving. And when you combine smart financial strategies with a spirit of contribution, you not only master the game of money, you master the game of life. And there you have it, the 7 steps for money. Master the Game by Tony Robbins. 1. Make the decision to be an investor. 2. Learn the rules of the game. 3. Create a lifetime income plan. 4. Master asset allocation. 5. Use the bucket strategy. 6. Learn from the best. 7. Give and grow. Remember, financial freedom is not about luck. It's about making consistent, intelligent decisions over time. So start today, even if it's small, even if it's just setting aside a few dollars. The earlier you begin, the faster you build momentum. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth book summaries, and share this with someone who needs financial clarity. And as Tony Robbins would say, it's not just about money, it's about the quality of life you create. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.